Today on All Things 80s, we've got the Energized Spiderman from Remco.
It's Energized Spiderman, battery not included. Attach the spider clamp, flip the switch, and the motorized web climber starts him climbing, keeps him climbing. Energized Spiderman, the spider web trap for lifting and pulling. The spider light, you can watch him climb in the dark and pretend he's searching for the enemy. The power pack turns on the spider copter, sold separately.
Spider-Man flies by night!
Energized Spiderman comes with motorized web climber. Spider copter sold separately by Remco.
Welcome back to All Things 80s. Now this right here is the Energized Spiderman from Remco, and this came out in 1978. Now this sadly is not my childhood version, but I got this one at a yard sale a couple of years back. It only cost me $2 or $3, and it was one of my favorites as a very young boy. Now it came out in 1978, so I suspect I would have been 4 or 5 years old at the time. And this was at a period in my life where I probably didn't fully understand the concept of Santa. So I wasn't writing lists of toys that I wanted. This was a time where my parents would just get me something. So when I opened this as a young lad, I was like just amazed by the size of it because it is huge. It's at least 12 inches, probably more like 13 from hand to toe. But it's not an action figure. It has zero articulation. Even the head doesn't turn. But it more than makes up for it with some pretty cool features. Now, Remco had the license to do Spider-Man, and they gave us, obviously, Spider-Man. They also gave us a Green Goblin that was energized, but they also did the Hulk, Superman, and Batman. I never actually saw any of those in person when I was growing up, but I just discovered that when looking for more of these online today. Sadly, at the moment, there are none for sale that are fully functional. There are quite a few broken ones for sale, and that's probably because the plastic is extremely brittle, and you have to be pretty careful with this. It wasn't the sort of toy you could throw around the place. But onto the action features. So first and foremost, this energized feature was the fact that Spider-Man could climb by himself. Now this fishing line attached to the hoop here runs through his arm, and there's actually a motor inside. Now it also came with a G-clamp that you could hook this onto, and you could put the G-clamp onto a table or something. You would extend the fishing line and flick on the on switch, and Spider-Man would just climb up by himself, which sounds pretty simple by today's standards, but back then when I was 4 or 5, this was like the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And if that wasn't cool enough, he came with his own little flashlight that would plug into his belt on the side here, so you could switch the lights off and you could have Spider-Man climbing up, lighting the way with his own little miniature flashlight. It was really, really cool. It took one C battery, which went into his back here. I did try this one, but unfortunately it no longer operates. So it's my dream to find one that's fully functional. I would love to play with that again. Now it also came with a web, which I really don't have any memory of, but I believe you would attach the web to this little hoop on the end of the fishing line, and then you could place the web over an object, hit the on button, and Spider-Man would, bring that object back, which is also pretty cool. Now, like I said, it's extremely brittle, and the temptation was to open it up and try and see what's wrong with the motor, but I don't think I'm going to do that simply because, this is 40 plus years old, and it's already sort of showing a lot of signs of wear and tear, so I don't fancy its chances of surviving being cracked open. But yeah, so just a quick little talk there about the Remco Energized Spiderman. So if you happen to have one of these as a child, you were very lucky because this was state of the art. Beautiful toy, and also beautiful sculpt as well. I think the fact that it is essentially a one-piece, non-articulated figure meant they could just, sculpt it in such a way that it just looks beautiful. It really does. So anyway, that was the Energized Spider-Man. Just a pity I couldn't give you a full demo. Maybe one day if I find one that works, I can do another video showing you in action with this little flashlight. Very cool. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Special thank you to the Patreons. And I ask you to please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. And stay tuned for more videos from All Things 8.